is a Numbz music.
Hey yo, Numbz. They act like showing up fashionably late to the party's a bad thing. We back at it. Let me talk to him. Last 10 years of my life, nothing but evolution. I've been cruising reclusive through music, securing futures, minor setbacks. For the most part, things been fluent. My influence, blueprint for those that will never do it.
So first, I would like to talk about how we're on the eve of your new project. How you feel?
Feel great, man. It's a blessing to finally get something out of your system that you've been, trying to say for all these years. Late Arrival means a lot of different things. It took on a lot of different shapes and forms. I didn't know what I was gonna do when I first, put it in my mind that I was gonna do it, man. But like all the hard work, all the late nights, the music blaring, right next to your room as I'm recording it, you looking at me crazy as all the new equipment is coming in to be able to record it. And, I just think about all the late nights and just decisions and second guessing myself on just the verses and selections and stuff like that. So, I'm excited for people to hear it. For people that know me to hear it, that know me that, in the past that rapped or don't know me at all, from rapping. I'm excited for them to hear it because I think it's really gonna, be an eye opener in terms of just what I have to offer in my little piece of, the rap space, man.
How'd you get into music?
Man, born and raised in New York City, Lower East Side, Lillian Wall Projects to be specific, and Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Spent my summers there with my dad, but pretty much every weekend as well, man. So that's pretty much it, man. Low-key kid, coming up or whatever, immediately left for the military at 18 and, 4 different continents, several different moves, 20 plus years in this thing, you know what I mean? So I've just been all over the world, man. So, I've probably been gone from New York City a lot longer, or not a lot longer, a couple years longer, than I even grew up there. So, seen a lot of things, done a lot of things, got a lot of cultures and different locations in the States and overseas, all, melted in one.
So you got the podcast, the Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast. You didn't have to make this album. So what made you get back into making music?
Yeah, so, it's a multitude of things, right? It's, first and foremost, you mentioned the podcast, is my homie Prez, man. Just, little hints here and there to make an intro. I started with making an intro to the podcast. I never did that. Said I didn't want to do it, didn't want to rap, didn't want to make it about me. Just wanted to make it about us in the show, so never did that. And then I remember it was one time, I forget how long ago, but he was just, he sent me my old mixtape. I think I put it on SoundCloud a long time ago, or I just lost it, in the process of several different moves over the years. And this is like long after I just stopped rapping. Once I wanted to get focused in my professional career. So that's kind of where it started back up, from the podcast time. And then, interviewing a bunch of different dope artists. Some of them are on the project, but in particular, producer Furious Styles, man, he, shout out to him as well, man. He was put together a Noise in the Hood compilation project where he just had different people from all different parts of the States, and, I think it may be somebody overseas, but anyway, he was just putting it together, and then, I was just feeling good that night, and I was like, I've rapped too. I hadn't picked up a pen, honestly, in years. So now, but I put my foot in my mouth. So now he sends a few beats for me to consider. Now it's like, you got to show and prove. So, I'm going back and forth on what I'm gonna write. And then honestly, it just came to me, and, track came out good. I was hyped about it. I even shot a video for it. And everything for promo, man. So I was like pretty excited about it. And of course, he had put the battery in my back. Was like, this shit is dope. And, several other people, said it was dope. So sometimes that's all you really need, right? It's a little battery in your back. I mean, everybody would like to say they the nicest this at rapping and shit like that. But when people appreciate what you do and just give you that extra motivation to believe in you, then, it's off to the races. So from there, I'm like, I'm making a project. I like the way this feels again.
So that let's talk about the track "All I Need," which I'm featured in. How did Grandpa influence you musically?
Grandpa really, he was no filter, so to speak, man. From remember when I used to have you in the car riding around, and even your brother and sister now to this day, I don't really. There's no filter in what I play. I know, you as a teenager, you listen to everything. So I can't really hide the words and the subject matter from you. So you're a little bit older, so I'll let you rock out and listen to everything. But that's kind of how Dad was. So, and to a fault, I'm kind of bad at that. I know, your little brother and little sister shouldn't be listening to some of the things they listen to. But, we let it rock out because we that type of musical family. We listen to everything in the car. And, all things go except for if it gets too raunchy. So that's kind of what Dad did, man. I remember riding around the city, whether he was selling CDs, whether he was DJing, whether he was just moving and shaking and making different type of moves. He had to it was always music at the house, always music blasting. If you lived on Quincy Street, you heard his speakers loud as hell at all times of the night. In the summer, just blasting. Everybody sitting on the stoop having a good time. And nobody ever really called the cops, nothing like that, because everybody was just enjoying just that good summertime vibes and just music, just more than rap music too. But in particular, I just fell in love with the rap music. He introduced me to countless. I mentioned the DJs. Shout rest in peace to K Slay, DJ Cool, Cutmaster C, Ron G, Kid Capri, Funk Flex. I could go on and on all the different mixtapes and how I had music at my full disposal at all times. How you can go to iTunes, Spotify, whatever right now and get whatever you want. That's how I had it in my house. And, my pops was Spotify before Spotify, so to speak. So that's really how we got it in at the house. And, I had cousins and that are like sisters who listen to R&B and reggae and all that. So very, very musical house, man. But Pops in particular, man, was the man when it came to music, DJing, and he even performed at the time.
Next, I wanted to get into some of the features. You have Numbz, JR, King James, and Abel MERI on the project. Anything you could give us on what to expect from those guys?
Just high level lyricism, man. I called them up and those guys all delivered. I really was just like, hey man, I want you guys to be a part of a project. I'm making a project. No answers. They got the verses back ASAP. And, I'm more of a fan of those verses than even my own, in certain aspects on the project, man. So it was easy to work with those fellas, man. They all got similar stories in terms of just rapping before going away from it and just not really coming back, now in current years and really doing their thing over the last couple of years. And all of them have a bunch of projects, albums, EPs out. So y'all go check out their music as well, man. But just I'm appreciative that they're a part of the project, and I really let nobody hear none of their features because I think their features are just that dope and essential to the project. So when I didn't have more to say, then they could finish it off, and like I said, similar paths, walk similar paths. So each and every one of them sound where they needed to. To sound on the project. Numbz has production on there. Ayo, Shamir, and JR, those guys fit like a glove. So got production from Shamir, and JR came in and smoked that. Abel MERI came in and did what he does, which, man, he went on a crazy run last year. We just dropping a project for I think 18 months straight or something crazy like that. And King James just, he just comes in and kills shit. So I'm excited for y'all to hear their verses and, you guys to become fans of them. So that's really what it's all about,
On the song Common Truth, there's a line where you say, never afraid of failure, thief of joy is comparison, which is a crazy opener, by the way. What made you get in that zone on the track with JR?
Man, I don't really say if it is a zone. It's really just it's just grown man bars throughout the whole entire project. I wanted to make a project that represented me at, be 40 in a couple months. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to embody that. So, at a certain point, as you get older, you don't give a damn about failing. You don't give a damn about how you look. So you come as you are. And that's really what this album is about. Come as you are. Don't be afraid of failure. Just do things until it works out. You know what I mean? Nobody becomes an expert let's just think about public speaking. If public speaking ain't your thing, you got to keep getting up on the stage and publicly speaking because you get more comfortable time and time after you do things. And that's kind of where I fell off with the rap. It was like, yo, I wanted it to sound complete and full and be, mastered and all the nuances of it all. Like, I'm really into the details of it all. So if I couldn't do it like that before, then I wasn't going to do it. But moving forward, like, that's what I wanted to do. So whether I fail or not, whether the mix was right, whether the bars was the most intricate or whatever, I'm putting this project out. I'm going to see how people feel about it. I stand on it, and I'm not going to overthink it. So don't be afraid to fail. If it comes out and nobody really listens to it, at least I can say is I put something out, right? And then, Thief of Joy's comparison is just really, don't compare yourself to other people. You know what I mean? Run your own race. It's my first project. I have high expectations from it, but wherever it goes, I'm not comparing myself to no other artist, no other person that's doing music that, that I know personally, or that I don't feel that's not as nice as me. That's neither here nor there. Running your own race and really just being excited for the fact that you put a project out. And this is for me. Just, I'm excited about that shit. So that's really where it is. Like, can't compare yourself to nobody else but yourself. You know what I mean? So, and that's really how I've been living the last couple of years. Is just doing that, and it's worked out for me perfectly.
Another line I wanted to talk about off Late Arrival is Kobe Bean died the same day Mom's birthed the king. Explain the significance to that.
Yeah, man. Well, Kobe died on my birthday a couple years ago, and if you know me, I love hoops. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of the Knicks, but shout out to Kobe, man. I'm a fan of greatness. You know what I mean? And that's really what that line was about. Is like, when a cat that close in age to you dies, and you saw kind of grow up with you, it kind of makes you feel like, yo, man, I gotta get, my affairs in order. Life is too short, and that's really what Late Arrival is like, yo, man, you can't be afraid to do things that you always wanted to do, things that you dreamed of doing. And again, this may be small to other people, but it's big to me. You know what I mean? So, the Kobe Bean died the same day Mom's birthday king thing is just like, just sticking your chest out, just saying like, yo, you are king. That's that self-talk, that self-motivation, and just really kind of putting in the work that Kobe will put into making this project, making sure everything sounded right, not skimping on anything, not settling for a whack performance in a verse, you know what I mean? Making sure shit sounded right, just being very meticulous with things and how it's saying. Everything is intentional on the project. So that's really where that line comes from. It's just like, and I always remember that, every single birthday from here on out is, that guy's a super motivator in terms of just what he did for the game of basketball, but just and how he transitioned in life afterwards. So he was doing a lot of great things, man, that he wanted to do. So trying to carry on that tradition with my music.
Last question I have for you today is, what can people expect from Late Arrival overall?
A lot of triumph, a lot of failure, a lot of real talk, a lot of honesty, a lot of grown man bars. To be honest with you, there's no filler on it. Kept it real short, 9 songs, but they're 9 full songs. And I wanted to bar your head off, and I think I did that. But I made it in song mode, and that's the most important thing to me, is just make good songs. You know what I mean? A lot of people out here can really rap. They're great at a technical aspect and all that. And that's going to come. I'm going to have fun and do those different type of things where I just spit a raw ass verse that's about nothing of importance. But this was important to me to just tell my story out the gate. This is what I'm about. This is what I've been through. This is why I'm a late arrival to the party as far as just rapping and putting my 2 cents in the game. And that's really it, man. Just a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, a lot of triumph, a lot of little shit talking and bravado and stuff like that. So I just really wanted to do that. And just give the people that type of music, because hip hop is growing up. It's no longer to where it's a young man's game. Everybody's game, and there's a spot for the older guys, such as myself and older, that love hip hop, that still want to hear, I think Charlamagne the God says adult contemporary hip hop, where we want to hear hip hop that ages well. And I think if that's what you into, I'm your boy. You know what I mean? I'm the man that you need to listen to. And, you know, anything I put my hands on is going to be from a real perspective. So, I mean, I can stand on that. So I'm in love with this project, man. I'm sure people will be. And y'all, you know, late arrival, Kash Flow, man. So, you know, I mean, drop 6/3, and then on all the digital streaming services, it drops on the 6th. So, you know, y'all check me out. Give me a chance. Let me know if you rocking with it. Follow me on social media at Kash_Circuit on Twitter. And then, you know, at Kash_Flow83 on Instagram. So you can find me on those 2 mediums, and just I'll be pushing the album until it's up for another EP or album. So yeah, man, that's a little bit about that, man. So y'all check it out.
Had to get these thoughts off, you heard? Year was 87, in my pop's Thunderbird. Before I picked up the pen to even utter words. Before I grabbed the mic to even juggle verbs. Backseat of his ride was my thought of church. Riding around the city, the guy Rakim blasting. The bridges over some cane, pops tapped in. Entry level, some say it's the golden era. My youngin', he feel it's the new era. Before my vision was shaded, before my love was tainted. This during the crack era, when life revealed its mascara.